98% of the time, people meet your brand before they meet you. They see you on social media, hear about you from other people. But I ask you, what's more important than shaping the way they see you everywhere else before they meet you?
Nothing is more important to your business than how your customers view you, and it's totally in your power.
Welcome to Be Bold Branding, where we discuss the power of differentiating yourself through your own unique story and standout personal brand.
Well, you've decided that other things are more important than branding. That's unfortunate because people meet your brand before they meet you. We're going to share why branding is the most important thing you should do before you do outreach, before you market yourself, even before you generate leads. So if you've decided to wait on branding, remove yourself from all distractions and please listen closely to this episode.
Yeah, listen to the voice of experience. I am a serial entrepreneur. I used to think, first off, that I needed marketing. It wasn't what I needed, even though I've been a serial marketer all my life. Tonya taught me I needed branding. But even when that happened, I thought branding was something I should do only if I had the luxury of some extra time and money. And who has that ever? Right. And I thought it's more important to just generate leads because leads lead to sales. If I just had the leads, I could sell more. But once Tonya really shared with me the importance of generating the right type of leads, that made perfect sense to me. I didn't want to waste my time chasing after wrong leads because the time was something that I didn't have any more of. And here's another thing that I know from experience. Life is extremely busy. Most likely it's busier than ever for every one of you entrepreneurs out there because we're finding starting about spring of last year that it became busier and busier and busier and busier for us, right? But look, busy comes and busy goes, and you still have to grow your business even when you're busy. And when one busy goes and another comes along and takes its place, time flies, and the things you really should have done, they just don't get finished. But here's what you need to know. Nothing is more important to your business than how your customers view you. That is it. Like there's nothing more important than that. And it's totally in your power.
And talk about all up in your busyness.
I like that.
That's true. All right. Think about this. 98% of the time, people meet your brand before they meet you. They see you on social media, they see your ads, they watch your videos, they read your articles, they hear about you from other people. All those things are great. But I ask you, what's more important than shaping the way they see you everywhere else before they meet you?
Right. Nothing is more important to your business growth than having your brand precede you. It's a soldier for you. It works 24/7, even while you sleep. So you can begin to work that smarter, not harder thing, that cliche that you really wish you could get to. Your prospects and your customers need to know why they should be doing business with you. They need to know what makes you different from the hundreds or maybe even thousands of others who are also doing the exact same thing that you're doing. And if you don't take the time to really dial that in, you're going to wish you did. Next week, next month, or heaven forbid, next year. I cannot tell you the number of clients we work with that said, I heard about you a year ago and I'm finally getting around to talk to you. And we're like, well, finally is here because if you'd have done it a year ago, we would have already doubled and quadrupled your income. But thank God you're starting right now.
Yes.
Tonya used to say all the time, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Exactly. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you now is just a breakdown of daily business life so you can see what we mean about your brand being the most important thing, okay? So there are 3 phases to customer acquisition for almost every one of you. Okay, there's the introduction phase, the part where you don't know your prospect yet and they don't really know you, right? You're just meeting for the first time, or they've just been exposed to you for the first time, right? You haven't yet met. That's introduction. The second phase is engagement. You are actively engaged in some type of conversation. You're met with them, you're having conversation with them. Okay, 99% of you don't worry about that part of it, right? Because your brand actually comes out, what you're known for, what you stand for, the things you want to communicate. You can do that once you get across from a person. Now, you can do it a lot better if you know exactly what to communicate, which is another part of benefit of branding. But The second part is not where we worry about you. Okay. Then there's the third part. Let's say you are introduced or you meet 10 people this week, but only 2 of them decide to move forward with you. That means 8 of them are still kind of hanging in the balance. So the question is, what are you going to do to ensure that the things you want them to know and see about you, in other words, what you stand for, are going to remain out in front of them until they make that decision as to whether or not to do business with you? Where most people lose business is on the front end in the introduction phase. Think about it. We don't even know how many opportunities are being missed because you are not positioned correctly in the mind of your prospect before they meet you in person. Okay. They miss business on the front end. They miss business on the back end, that follow-up phase where you've got to stay out in front of them with your message, with your image until they make the decision. Most people don't lose it in the engagement phase. It's introduction, it's follow-up. That means your brand has to come first.
It does. It's interesting. I got to throw this in. There is a lot of opportunities missed. I can't tell you the number of industries where they have proven that the very first person that speaks to that prospect gets the business. The very first person. True. And if your brand isn't preceding you enough that they are calling you first, you don't even know how to calculate the loss. It's astronomical.
You can't calculate the cost of confusion, as Michael says.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't calculate.
And I learned this from Tonya. Okay. So like I said earlier, I really thought I needed marketing. When I hired her company to come in, I hired what I thought was a marketer. And she was smart enough to know that she was a brander. And she let me call it marketing for about a week, maybe 2. And then she began to change my thought process. It's not marketing I'm giving you. Anybody can market. Anybody can show you a marketing strategy. That's not genius. Who can build your brand? And she started telling me what that brand was, because I had been spending a lot of money. I had been in business 20 something years before I ever met Tonya. I had had a modicum of success in the industry she helped me with, which happened to be a real estate brokerage. I'd had a lot of success as a real estate broker himself, but as building a brokerage, it was brand new and it was uncharted territory. And I needed her to show me this. And she showed me I was spending and wasting a lot of money on marketing, right? Because it was just spray and pray, just throw enough against the wall and then hopefully a bunch of it sticks, right? But when my brand was built, even I was blown away because I realized who I was trying to attract, where I should be marketing to reach those people I was trying to attract, and what exactly I should be saying to them to attract them. All right. So that's 3 very big major takeaways I got from learning how to build a brand. And since that time, my business has skyrocketed. Even in the year, I'm still in real estate, guys, even in the years, it's going to be Grant Cardone, it's the death of real estate in America. My company made money. And so it continues to do that because of my brand. My brand is solidified to my customers. And I believe in that so much. I bought into BrandFace, the company, because I wanted to share that with everybody else. And that's why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm. And one of the major myths out there is that marketing and branding are kind of one and the same. So I'm going to end with this note. Branding and marketing are totally different. Marketing is using different marketing vehicles or platforms to get a message and image out to your customers. Your brand is that message and image that goes into those marketing platforms, right? So if you don't get that right, it's a bunch of noise and you end up in the sea of sameness. Okay. So, and beyond all of these awesome things that a great brand does for you, it sets you up for massive success. About 90% of the coaches and experts that we talk to these days tell us one very sad thing. They're not charging enough for their services.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And the great news is a great brand changes how you're seen so you can charge what you're worth. Let me repeat that. Change how you're seen, charge what you're worth. And as Michael's grandpa says, the most important thing is to keep the most important thing the most important thing. And that, my friends, is what always comes first, your brand.
The most important thing. Hey guys, listen, we love you and we do this for prosperity. When we say that, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about a true 360 of an abundant life that we know building your brand will get you. Okay. It did me. Thank you to her for teaching me that. And now the thousands of other clients that we've been able to pass that information on to. We know here that prosperity favors the bold. So we say, be bold, folks. Be bold with your brand. It's 2023 and it's going to be a fantastic year.
And if you're bold, if you truly are bold, hit that subscribe button. All right. We'll see you here next time. Thanks.
Brought to you by BrandFace, the only comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe.